So I've already showed you how to insert a footnote and some basic footnote and formatting requirements. What I want to do now is elaborate on a few other things. The first thing we need to take note of is that we're going to use the Constitution a lot as a source in this course, and hopefully in other courses that you do in the future. There's a particular style for referencing the Constitution. The very first time that the Constitution is used, we describe it as follows. So in a sentence, we would say, for example, in terms of section 33 of the Constitution. And then, because we're using it for the first time, we're going to give further details of the Republic of South Africa, 1996. Everyone is or has a right to administrative action that is lawful, fair, and reasonable. Now, we don't add a footnote because the full details of the source that we are relying on appear in the text itself over here. But you'll note that we've written out the Constitution details in full. This is something we do only the first time we refer to the Constitution. Now, the Constitution isn't a statute. It is a special species of law that came into being pursuant to a certification process. So we don't reference it in exactly the same way as we would reference an ordinary statute. In fact, there is legislation telling us how to refer to the Constitution. Now, if we want to refer to the Constitution again, for example, we want to refer to the provisions dealing with the public administration in Chapter 10, then we will now, the second time we use it, refer to it slightly differently. So in Chapter 10, in section 195, there are a number of values and principles that govern the public administration. And I'm going to mention those in a sentence. So I'm going to say, in addition, the public administration is subject to a number of constitutionally entrenched values and principles. Let's say the conduct of the public administration is subject to a number of constitutionally entrenched values and principles. Now you can see that in this sentence I don't have a source. So someone reading this wouldn't know where to find in the Constitution authority for this statement. So I have to insert a footnote. So I'm going to again click on the footnote button. I'm going to again press the tab key, and I'm going to type in the details, the authority for the statement. And the authority for the statement is Section 195 of the Constitution. Now this time, I don't have to write out the Constitution in full because I've already written it in full in the text above. So all I need to do is state the words, the Constitution. It is still a source of law, so we're going to use a big C as opposed to a small c. So uppercase as opposed to lowercase. Now you'll see that because I'm in a footnote, I want to keep my text to a minimum, so I've used the letter S instead of writing out section. The other thing you'll see is that I inserted a full stop at the end of my footnotes in both cases. Punctuation at the end of footnotes is crucial, as is it elsewhere in your document. Now, the final thing that you'll notice is that both here and here, I've inserted my footnote after punctuation. So I have my full stop, then I put my cursor, and then I press the insert footnote function. You'll notice that the font of this footnote isn't compliant with the standard, or rather the prescribed style for this document. So we simply highlight it and fix that. And we've said that the style must be, the font must be size 10. Now the last thing that you'll notice is that the footnote doesn't line up. Remember in the previous video I showed you how to ensure that your footnote is lined up using the hanging indent button. So I simply place my cursor over here and then I grab this hanging indent button, so not left indent but hanging indent, and I line everything up nicely. So it moves from there to there. And that is how to reference the Constitution as a source of law in your writing, and also how to insert a footnote that refers to the Constitution. If this statement, writing out the Constitution in full, hadn't appeared yet in my text, I would have had to put the full details of the Constitution in the footnote. So I would have had to put Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, because I wouldn't have given the full details already over here.